The future of the village. For 97% of human history, we have lived in small, nomadic foraging groups in communities of around 150 people, and raising a child was only possible with a village, or at least an extended family, with fathers and grandmothers around to help provision and care for the young. Hardy, 2011. From the cradle to the grave, the village now looks very different for many weird families, and policymakers are waking up to some of the consequences of this. For example, putting older adults into nursing homes decreases their life expectancy by 3.4 years on average when compared with being cared for at home, even after controlling for pre-existing health conditions. Brent, 2022. Thank you, Brent. I'll be using that. This result might seem counterintuitive. At first, the skilled nursing and access to medicine that justify the very existence of a nursing home have a worse impact than unskilled family care or even no care at all. But it makes more sense when we consider the value of family and a wider supportive social network for providing a protective buffer against some of the effects of aging. Something that a medical model of aging has not always costed in, to nudge people back to the village-based family life, even in sprawling cities of millions of people. Some governments are now providing incentives in Singapore. If you are buying a resale flat to live with or near your parents or children, you can apply for a proximity housing grant that offers 30,000 Singapore dollars to live with your parents or children, or SGD 20,000 to live within 4 kilometres of them. The Singapore government has calculated that the cost of running the scheme is a fraction of the cost. It would take care for older adults in institutionalized care. The loss of life years from nursing home care is estimated to be around USD 1.87 trillion in the USA alone. Grant, 2022. The disjoint between village life and modern world is an example of an evolutionary mismatch. Throughout the book, we have met examples of evolutionary mismatches, and it has always been important to stress that what is expected or natural does not automatically equal good or bad. Mismatches need to be considered on their own terms. A metabolism adapted for foraging should reward gorging on sugar, fat, salt whenever we can get it, because as opportunistic foragers, we can never be sure where the next meal is coming from. What is natural serves us poorly. When we are in the environment of abundant processed food and convenience, on the other hand, women could expect that many, if not most, of their infants would not survive childhood until relatively recently in history. No one is bemoaning the good old days of high infant mortality, a phenomenon equally as natural as the metabolism, and the reduction in infant mortality is rightly considered one of the greatest achievements of modern healthcare. Last words. The roots and reasons why children develop differently are multifaceted and individual, given the complex network of cause and effect in which child development is situated. It is remarkable that we understand as much as we do. and we understand a considerable amount when compared with only a few decades ago. Yet the breadth and depth of child development make it feel like we have only scratched the surface of what where is to uncover. There are still many basic features of childhood that we do not have a full explanation for, such as why we forget our earliest memories and how children learn language. Nor will we ever fully know what it is like to be a child or an earlier version of ourselves. For almost all human history, children were thought of as not being able to provide much insight into the big phys- philosophical puzzles, like where our knowledge of the world comes from. In turns out that children had the answers to many of these riddles all along, in the way they naturally approach learning. We just needed to look harder and ask smarter questions because children are the most powerful learners on the planet. Big tech companies like Google, Meta, and Apple, wanting to design more intelligent systems, are very interested in how children learn so much in such a short time. This current system produces impressive results by compiling massive data sheets from the internet, but they perform less well when going out into the world and doing something with that knowledge. One of the best ways to teach a robot to walk is by letting them make and learn their own mistakes, just as children do. Advances in our understanding of the natural world occur more often as the result of a surprise, that odds a result. I didn't expect that. Then, an eureka moment in years to come, children will no doubt keep providing us with surprises, revealing more secrets of development as well as many opportunities for us to learn from them and with them. Hmm.